Yo, what's up YouTube? We just got back there from locals and we got third place with Rescue Ace. I've really been wanting to get this deck in a good spot and I finally think we're there. I finally think this deck is amazing and I really think that this deck's going to push the metagame. It's even crazier because in Age of Overlord we get Dark Witch and the Sinful Spoils, and that make this deck even stronger. But right now the deck is still in an amazing spot, and I went X1 today. I lost my first round, but then I won my next three. So I took this deck very seriously, and I'm finally happy it's in a really good spot. So let's take a look at the list there. So we have, of course, you have Rescue Ace Turbulence. It's going to be your big boss monster. It's the one that sets all your back row. Card's incredible. You're going to be playing 2 Preventer. Preventer is a great extender. It's great interaction. It's just all around really good card. Don't want to max it out because you don't want to see multiples of it is about all. For your one-ofs, big machines, you're going to be playing 1 Fire Engine. You're going to be playing 1 Fire Attacker. Fire Engine hasn't come up super often. Fire Attacker has definitely come in much more often, just because you can use Impulse to summon it from deck on turn 0 and thin your hand a bit. You have your best normal summon in the deck. You have Rescue Ace Airlifter. This card is absolutely insane. It searches you a Rescue Ace spell, which most of the time is going to be your emergency. So the card's really good, and it has a niche effect to special one from hand on occasion. You have your second best normal summon, which is still unfortunately not a 1-card combo. This card requires you to have Rescue Ace Turbulence in hand. Not Turbulence, but Preventer in hand already to make this card get you Turbulence. The card's still really good. Still haven't found it. I need to cut it down yet though, so still keeping it at 3. Another really insane card. This card lets you play on turn 0 a little bit. Card's a great interaction card, especially going into, if you're going second. Card gets you some starters and baits your opponent if you have to normal summon it. For some hand traps, you're going to be playing 3 Ash Blossom. Pretty self-explanatory, just good hand trap. And the only other hand trap I'm playing in the deck, if you don't count Rescue Ace Impulse, I guess, is just going to be 3 Effect Veiler. Just a card you can draw off of Fire Attacker. Now a bit of a niche and spicy thing I'm testing here is I'm going to be playing Assault. I play 2 Assault Synchron and 2 tunings to go with it. Just to get you to Synchro access, I think is really important. Making Baron, for example. Consistency card. You're going to be playing 3 Pot of Prosperity. This card's still a bit expensive right now. If you don't have Prosperity, you could probably use Small World. It'll be just as fine. Assault Synchron is a machine. The best card in the deck overall, we have Emergency. This card has fixed a lot of issues the deck had. Fixed the issue where you didn't have a good normal summon to get you somewhere, but now you do with Airlifter searching this. This is a bit controversial, kinda, but I'm playing 2 Rescue Ace HQ. The only reason why I'm playing 2 is because I found 1 I end up losing either by opponent's interaction or something along those lines, and then I have no way of recycling. This deck is a really control deck, so you need to have your control pieces, and if you don't have them, then you don't survive in the grind game. You lose targets, and that's what I was having. So I think playing 2 HQ is actually really good right now. For some one of spells, we're going to be playing 1 Alert, 1 Rescue. You don't really need more than 1 each. This is a combo extender going turn 1, and this is a interaction going on your opponent's turn. We're going to be playing Instant Fusion to get out Mud Dragon, protect our guys for the turn. I'm playing 1 for 1. I might cut this card just because it's such a hard neg, and if they get ashed, it's really tough. We're playing Rhoda because you can search Airlifter or Impulse as well. Then final cards in the deck, we're going to be playing Called By, just 1 our combos to go through. And of course, 1 of each, the Extinguish and Contain. Card's really good. You don't want to open them too much though. So that's all for the main deck there. Let's take a look at the extra deck. For the extra deck, We're going to be playing one Mud Dragon, of course. You can make it with Proxy F, or you can make it with Instant Fusion. Because we are playing the Assault Synchron, we're playing Baron de Fleur, and we're playing Cheng Ying. This never came up today, and I don't think it ever will, so I'm probably going to cut this for something else. But it was there. And then the other synchros I'm playing are going to be Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon and Coral Dragon. Coral Dragon I feel like comes up more than Charge Warrior or Tri-Edge Master, just because you can use Preventer to reborn Airlifter, for example, and then Airlifter and this make you Baron. Excel Stardust Dragon is only there because you can make it with Assault Synchron and Fire Attacker, but that hasn't come up today. Coral Dragon has come up today, so I'll probably be keeping that. For some Link monsters, we're going to be playing Underworld Goddess, really good board clear, or tower clear, Access Code Talker, OTK Tool, Heat Soul, Plan B essentially. You have Unicorn, because Unicorn's Unicorn. You have IP to go into Unicorn. You have your Baguska out. We have Donner, just pretty decent cards. You have Proxy F Magician. This is the card you use to go into Mud Dragon to protect Turbulence. Playing Sunlight Wolf, just a generic one. You can add back a Fire Monster from Grave. Sometimes you can add Ash Blossom back to hand, which is funny. You're playing Relinquished Anima. This card will probably change. It was just in there because I needed a filler slot. And then the final Link monster we're playing is going to be Link Karibo. This is one of the few cards in the extra deck I feel like is a mandatory, just because you need to get Hydrant to Grave sometimes. Now the side deck I played. So side deck is pretty subjective. However, I played 3 Dimension Shifter. This card was pretty insane. This card is really good. We can play under it pretty well. The only card that it kind of hinders is 1-for-1 and Preventer, which is why I was also considering removing 1-for-1, just because it interacts with this pretty poorly. So you have Dimension Shifter, really good card. We have some Spell Trap Hate. We have 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Self-explanatory. If you're playing against Pirelli, you want to banish the field spell so you can interact with them. We have 3 Kaijus. We have 3 Gamma Seal. Out some towers like monsters. Pretty good. I'm not sure how sold I am on this right now, but it was in there and it served its purpose somewhat well. Another kind of controversial card that's not super popular, I don't think, is going to be Gozen Match. This card absolutely kills Kashtira. It kind of hurts Sword Soul. It forces them to pass on Dragate. Other decks as well, this hurts. It's a pretty good card, and we can play under it pretty well with just our interaction with Rescue Ace cards. And then final cards, just playing 1 Pankratops, Feather Duster, and Reinforcing the side. I really want to main deck this card. I really want to. It's just having 3 of those traps there, so you have Extinguish and Contain. Drawing any of them is really rough. So adding another one just hurts it. But holy cow, this card is insane. I think this card is probably super insane. It's so close to being main deckable, but it's not quite there. So that was all for the main deck, and I actually want to go over I'll go over a combo here. So we'll go over a 2-card combo that you can do with Airlifter and Assault Synchron. So let's take a look at that. We're going to start with probably my favorite combo in the deck here, using Assault Synchron and Airlifter. So these cards could be could be Tuning for Assault Synchron, or it could be Rhoda, for example, for something like Airlifter. So let's take a look at the combo here. We'll start by normal summoning our Rescue Ace Airlifter. We'll activate his effect. We'll search us a copy of a Rescue Ace spell, which will add us a copy of Emergency from our deck to our hand. What we'll do is we'll then end up activating Emergency. So we'll special summon a Rescue Ace monster from our deck in defense position, and then tribute a Rescue Ace card from our hand or monster from our hand or field. So we'll special summon a Rescue Ace Hydrant from our deck, and then we'll tribute our Rescue Ace Airlifter because we don't need him anymore. We'll activate the effect of our Rescue Ace Hydrant. We'll search us a Rescue Ace monster. The one you're going to be searching 90% of the time is going to be Rescue Ace Turbulence. We'll then activate Rescue Ace Turbulence effects. We'll banish for cost our Emergency and our Rescue Ace Airlifter from grave to special it from our hand. So we'll special summon it in defense position because it has equal attack and defense. We'll activate his effect. We will set our 4 cards. So we'll set 1 copy of Contain, Extinguish, Alert, and Rescue. So this can vary. Oftentimes you can probably swap Rescue with Emergency depending how you want it to play out, but we're going to use this for an example. So we'll set our 4 cards. So we'll set Contain, we'll set our Extinguish, we'll set our Alert, and we'll set our Rescue. You don't have to show your opponent where you set them, as they're supposed to be random. But because we then control Rescue Ace Hydrant, we're going to activate our Rescue Ace Alert because we can the same turn it's set once per turn. So we'll activate Alert here. We'll get us a copy of our Rescue Ace Preventer. So we'll add that from our deck to our hand. We'll then activate Rescue Ace Preventer's effect. We'll banish our Alert from our grave to special summon it from our hand. So we'll special summon Preventer from our hand that way. What we'll then do is we'll activate Assault Synchron's effect. So we'll special summon it to our side of the field. We'll take 700 damage. We'll then Synchro off with Assault Synchron and Rescue Ace Preventer. And that'll make us our Baron de Fleur. We'll then trigger Rescue Ace Preventer's effect. We can reborn our Rescue Ace Lifter from our banished. And then what we can do is we can take Rescue Ace Turbulence and Rescue Ace Airlifter. And then we can link those two off, and we can make ourselves an IP Masquerena. So we have here our Baron de Fleur, we have IP, Hydrant, our 2 trap cards, and we have Rescue set as well. So we can bring back Rescue Ace Preventer with Rescue on our opponent's turn for an interaction to protect Hydrant, and we have a Book of Moon live there as well. So that's a simple 2-card combo. You have 3 other cards left in your hand from that. Alright, so I really hope you enjoyed the deck profile there and the combo guide. I think the deck is, again, in a really good spot, and I hope to continue playing it for the next few weeks and probably a couple of months there as well. Age of Overlord, again, brings us the Dark Witch and the Sinful Spoils, which dramatically increases this deck's consistency, and allow it to do the synchro combos more using Jet Synchron as well, if that's a niche tech you want to try out. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice one.